ازاي تنجح وتجيب مجموع وانت قاعد على الانترنت؟ اليوم السابع بيقدم اقوى مراجعات نهائية للثانوية العامة لنخبة من افضل المدرسين. اتفرج وذاكر وانجح وجيب مجموع بالفيديو على اليوم السابع.
Dear students, welcome in final physics revision in اليوم السابع newspaper. We'll discuss some important questions and I want all of you to read the question carefully before answering it. Let's begin. Okay. Number 1. Explain the scientific idea for each of the following. Electron microscope. Yes, electron microscope depends on the wave nature of electron. To magnify an object, you must make its detail or dimensions greater than the wavelength of the rays falling on it. So by accelerating the electron beam, wavelength decreases. Okay, hydraulic press. Hydraulic press, this is its shape. It depends on Pascal principle. Pascal principle states that when a pressure applied to a liquid enclosed in container, it is transmitted undiminished to every portion of the liquid and the wall of the container. Of course, we use Pascal hydraulic press in car stations or in dentist clinic. Okay, another question: submarine. Submarine, this is its shape. It depends on buoyancy force or Archimedes principle. That state, or which state, when an object is immersed in a fluid, it's affected by upward force. Okay. Another question: Meissner effect or leviated train. This is the shape of Meissner effect. When we put magnet above superconductor, the induced current in the superconductor generates magnetic field which repel with the permanent magnet. So the permanent magnet hanging in air, you see permanent magnet hanging above superconductor coil. This is what we call Meissner effect. Okay, the superconductors, yes, when temperature reaches a few degrees above absolute zero, the electrical conductivity of some metals such as aluminum, platinum, zinc become very high, and so the electrical resistance vanishes. Electric transformer, that is its shape. Electric transformer depends on mutual induction between two coils, primary coil and secondary coil, and we use electric transformer in many elastic homes devices such as electric bell, refrigerator. We also use it in electric power station. Okay, another question: the moving coil galvanometer. The moving coil galvanometer, this is its shape in front of you. It depends on torque exert on coil carrying current placed in magnetic field. Electric motor. Electric motor, it depends on direct current passed in a rectangular coil placed in magnetic field. It will produce torque which causes movement of the coil. Of course, we can see electric motor in cars, in vans, many devices. Doped semiconductors. This is the shape of semiconductor. Yes, it depends on electric conductivity of germanium or silicon. Here is a crystal of silicon in front of you. Yes, can be increased. We can increase its electrical conductivity when doped with small quantities of one of the fifth group elements such as arsenic, or with one of the third group elements such as gallium. Okay. Another question: photoelectric effect. This is the shape of photoelectric effect. Yes, free electrons of the surface of metal can be free from this metal when we give them heat energy or light energy, enough energy to escape, as you see in the shape which illustrate photoelectric effect. Laser Yes, laser. This is the shape of laser. Yes, it depends on the population inversion and driving atoms or molecules of the active medium into a state of population inversion. Of course, you know that population inversion is what we say that number of atoms in the excited higher level will be more than their numbers in the ground or the stable level. Okay, another question. The spectrometer. This is the shape of a spectrometer, and it depends on what? Obtain pure spectrum, because the rays belong to the same color are parallel. Yes, each other, but they are not parallel to this of another color. So we can analyze the white light into its component or obtain pure spectrum, as we said before. Dewar flask. Yes, it used to store liquid gases, and it depends on what? You see, the spacing between the wall is evacuated to prevent the conduction and the convection of heat. Okay. Another question. Mention one use for each of the following. Number 1, optical fiber. Yes, optical fiber used in endoscopes and medical operation. Yes, I want only one use. Totally reflecting prism. Deviate the path of light by angle 90 degree or 180 degree, and in optical instrument as periscopes. Yes. Thomas Young double slit experiment. Yes, it is used to illustrate the light interference. Yes, and also determine the wavelengths of monochromatic light source. Number 4, melt experiment. Yes, it is used to illustrate, of course, standing waves in a stream. That's good. Number 5, barometer. Yes, it is a device used to measure atmospheric pressure. Of course, that's right. And hydraulic press. It is used to lift high loads using a small force. Number 7, superconductors pick up wireless signal. So it is used in making electric circuits of satellites. Okay. Or in designing high-speed magnetically leviated trains. I want one function only. Dewar flask, it is used to store liquid gases. Number 9, U-shaped tube. It is used to find the density of liquid by knowing density of another liquid, not mixes with it, or to be used as manometer. Number 10, double slit screen. Yes, to obtain two sources of light in phase, frequency, amplitude, and in the same direction. We meant same in phase, that the waves are the same in amplitude, in frequency, and of course in the same, propagate in the same direction with the same speed. That is, we meant by same in phase. Another question. Electric generator. Yes, the electric generator converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. Galvanometer. Yes, it is used to measure or detect very weak direct current. Transformer. It is used to step up or step down AC voltage. Step up or step down. Also transfer AC electric energy from power generating station to consumer. Number 14, spectrograph. Yes, decompose light into its component or to obtain pure spectrum. Number 15, X-rays. We know that X-rays is used to study crystalline structure of material or in imaging photographing bones. Number 16, laser. Yes, in many purposes such as making laser printers or arts and laser shows or cutting diamond or space researches. There are much uses of laser. Number 17, transistor. We use transistor as amplifier or as switch and inverter. Okay. Manometer. Number 18, used to measure the difference between pressure of enclosed gas and the atmospheric pressure. Another questions compare between number 1, mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves in the view of, yes, in the view of propagation. Okay, we know that the comparison, you must know all the point of comparison, because maybe it will be open compare in the exam, but if the question identify special point of the comparison, so you have to answer it only this point in order to save time for the other questions. Okay, so our question here won't point certain point, so we have to explain this only point and not all the other points in the comparison. Okay, the second we will show all the comparisons, then we'll try to answer it after you think about the answers. Okay, the second comparison is transverse wave and longitudinal waves according to or in the view of definitions. Okay, the third comparison is between manometer and barometer in view of function. The fourth comparison is between optical microscope and electron microscope in the view of lens used and final image. Okay, the fifth comparison is between ideal gas and real gas in view of intermolecular space. Number 6, continuous spectrum and characteristic line spectrum of X-rays. That's right. Number in the view of dependence of voltage difference. Number 7, liquid helium and liquid nitrogen in the view of boiling point and thermal conductivity. Number 8, shunt resistor and multiplier resistor in view of connection with galvanometer coil. Number 9, photon and electron in view of momentum. Okay, let's begin the answer. And I hope you think about the answer and try to answer this question with me. Okay, before we'll start answering the question, I'll repeat again. If this question asks about one point, you must focus on this point only. Why? To save your time in answering other questions. Okay, let's begin. Mechanical waves and electromagnetic waves. This table shows a point of comparison. Yes, they propagate, the mechanical waves, they propagate by vibrations of particles of medium. So they need medium or material medium to propagate. Okay, and this is an example of mechanical wave. You see in the picture or in front of you, you see tuning fork make sound wave, and this propagation or this vibration, the vibration makes movement of particles of water outside the glass cup. While electromagnetic waves, they propagate by vibrations of electric and magnetic field, so they don't need medium to propagate through it. And this is an example about electromagnetic wave, and this is the shape of propagation, shows the propagation of electromagnetic waves. The second comparison is about transverse waves and longitudinal waves. Yes, number 1, transverse waves, these are waves in which particle of medium vibrate in direction perpendicular on direction of wave propagation. While longitudinal wave, these are waves in which particles of medium vibrate in the same direction of wave propagation. That's right, we use only here, we talk about the definition of transverse wave only and longitudinal wave. I know there are other points in the comparison, such as the component of transverse wave. You know that it consists of crests and troughs, while longitudinal wave consists of compressions and rarefaction. Okay, I know there are examples, but here we focus on one point only, as we said before. Okay, the third comparison between manometer and barometer about the function of each of them. Number one, manometer. It is used to measure the pressure of an enclosed gas. That's right. Barometer. It is used to measure atmospheric pressure. Okay. Another comparison. Yes. Optical microscope and electron microscope. Optical microscope contains glass lenses and it forms virtual image. You know that virtual image, dear student, can't be received on screen, and of course the image of optical microscope, you can see it only under microscope. You can't catch it, you can't receive it on screen. That is we meant by virtual image. But electron microscope, let's see. Electron microscope, it contains electronic lenses, that for example magnetic lenses, and this image forms on photographic fluorescent plate and you can receive it. Another comparison between ideal gas and real gas. Okay, the ideal gas, the intermolecular space are large, and the real gas, the intermolecular space are small. Okay, let's remember, when the ideal gas, the intermolecular space are large, we mean that the volume of molecule can be neglected with compared to the volume occupied by the total gas. But when the intermolecular force are small, we can't neglect the volume of molecules. Okay, another comparison about is between, yes, continuous spectrum and the characteristic line spectrum of X-rays. Okay, the continuous spectrum depends on voltage difference, while the characteristic line spectrum, it doesn't depend on voltage difference. Dear student, you know that continuous spectrum is generated by decreasing the velocity of the electron as passes toward the electron of target, any electron of target, not a special electron, but in the characteristic line spectrum, it generated by accelerating electron collide with a closing electron near to the nucleus of the atom of target. So characteristic spectrum doesn't depend on voltage difference, it depends on atomic number. Yes, atomic number of material of target. That's right. Another comparison, liquid helium and liquid nitrogen. Liquid helium, its boiling point is 4.2 degree Kelvin and it is best thermal conductor, while liquid nitrogen, its boiling point is 77 degree Kelvin and it is lower in thermal conductivity. As you know, we store liquid helium in 2 dewar flasks because it has low boiling point, but we store liquid nitrogen in 1 dewar flask because it has relatively high boiling point. Another comparison, shunt resistor and multiplier resistor. Okay, according to connection, shunt resistor, yes, it is a small resistor connect in parallel with galvanometer coil, while multiplier resistor, it connects in series with galvanometer coil. Okay, let's remember that shunt resistor, when it connects in parallel with galvanometer coil, it converts it into ammeter. This is very important point. The ammeter used to detect or measure very weak direct current, but it will increase the intensity of current from galvanometer to ammeter. Then we connect shunt resistor in parallel to decrease the total resistance of the galvanometer, and hence it can measure high current intensities. than galvanometer. While multiplier resistor, we know that it is large resistant and connect in series, and it converts galvanometer into voltmeter, yes, to measure high potential difference. That's right. Another comparison between photon and electron. Yes, photon has momentum equal h frequency divide c. You know that h is Planck's constant and mu is the frequency and the c is the velocity of light, while electron momentum equals m times v, where m is the mass of electron and v its velocity. Dear student, you must remember that photon is a packet or quantum of energy, while electron is particle. This is very important fact. Okay, let's go to another question. What happened when? Number 1, the incident photon on metal surface have frequency is greater than the critical frequency of the metal. Okay, what happened if the photon falls with frequency greater than the critical frequency? That's right, photoelectric current will produce, or photo electron will liberate from the surface of metal. That's right, photoelectron liberates from surface of metal, or photocurrent produce. The same answer, it is the same. Okay, number 2, passing a high alternating current through a coil which surround a piece of metal. When a high alternating current pass through coil surround the metal, yes, the internal energy increase, very good, and increase the temperature of metal. This leads to increase its temperature to melting point, and we use this fact in inductance furnace, yes, to melt the metals. Okay, number 3, connected the PN junction in the electric circuit as a backward connection. What will happen? Yes, the potential barrier. The potential barrier increases and no current passes. That's right. Barrier voltage or potential barrier increases and no current passes. And that's why we use PN junction as a switch, because in the forward connection, the PN junction used as a switch and the circuit is closed and current passes, but in backward connection PN junction act as switch and the circuit is open. That's right. Number 4, some of germanium atoms in germanium crystal replaced by some of antimony atoms. Yes, we increase the electrical conductivity of these semiconductors. That's right. Number 5, exceeds the velocity of liquid flow to a definite limit value in the symmetrical cross-sectional tube. Yes, what will happen? Of course, the flow will change into turbulent flow. That's right, and which is characterized by eddy circles, small eddy circles. That's right. Number 6, the summation of two waves have nearly the same frequencies and has the same amplitude. Will produce beats. Yes, that's right. Number 7, removing the two hair spring from galvanometer. This is an important question, because if we do that, yes, it will transfer into motor. Very good. And this motor will rotate continuously. Very good. The galvanometer acts as motor which is rotate continuously. Very good. Number 8, what happens when increasing the tension of stretched string to 4 times of its value according to velocity of propagation of wave in the stream? We know that there is a direct relationship between tension and velocity. When the tension increased 4 times, yes, velocity will be doubled. Very good. Number 9, the frequency of a wave is increased to double its value in a certain medium. Certain medium means constant velocity. Yes, what will happen if the frequency increased to double its value at constant velocity? Yes, wavelength decrease to its half. Very good. Half its value. Yes. Number 10, when matter molecules are cooled to near absolute zero. What happened when matter molecules are cooled? Yes, the rate of collisions decreases and the electric resistance decreases, so the matter becomes superconductors. Another question, when a photon of energy equals E2 minus E1 passes an excited atom in the higher energy level E2, yes, this atom will fall down before lifetime and emitted another photon with the original one. This is what we call stimulated emission. That's right. The atom falls down from higher level to lower level, emitting photon in addition to the original photon. That's right. Very good. Another question. Closing the primary coil circuit in the transformer while opening the secondary coil circuit. Yes, by closing the primary coil circuit and open the secondary coil circuit, the current in the primary coil approach to zero due to self-induction. Very good, that's right. The current in the primary coil nearly approaches zero due to self-induction. Number 13. Connecting galvanometer with small parallel resistance. Very good. The galvanometer change into ammeter and measure the current intensities. Very good. High current intensities. Very good. Number 14, the last question here. What happened in the absence of helium in helium-neon laser instrument? Yes, if helium is absent, laser is not produced, laser beam is not produced. Why? Because pumping process will not be occurred. Very good. Okay, let's see another type of question. And dear student, you must know that choose or choices question is very difficult and need some thinking before answering them. So read the question carefully. Remember the relations between physical quantities and start to think in the answer. Number 1. Sentence number 1. The distance between two successive points having the same phase and direction equals 50 centimeters. Then the wavelength for such wave equals, yes, if the distance between two successive points have the same phase, it means that two successive crests or two successive troughs. Yes, that is of course the value of wavelength. So the value of wavelength for such wave equal, yes, that's right, it's 50 centimeters. Very good. Number 2. When a string of length L vibrates and is divided into n segments, then the wavelength of each tone equals, yes, remember the relation between the wavelength and length and number of segment. It will be, the answer will be 2L divide n. That's right, very good. Number 3. A vibrating string with 3 notes, it gives the what? Second or third or first harmonic tone. If the string gives 3 notes, it means that it has 2 segments. Yes, that's why it produces the second harmonic tone. Yes, that's very good. Number 4. When the length of a string decreases to its quarter and its stretched force decreases also to its quarter, then the vibration. Here, what is meant by vibration? In this question, the vibration means the frequency. Yes, the number of cycles or vibration done in 1 second, it means frequency. So what is the relation between the length, the velocity and the frequency? Think carefully. Okay, the length decreases to its quarter and the force decreases to its quarter. This means that the frequency, that's right, increase twice. Very good. Number 5. When light passes from denser optical medium to a less dense medium, then the maximum value of the angle of refraction in the less dense medium is, yes, it must be 90 degrees. Why? Because, that's right, because if the ray falls by angle greater than the critical angle, then It will not refract to the second median, but it will reflect again and total internal reflection takes place. Very good. Then the answer will be 90 degrees. Okay? Another question, number 6. Body makes 3000 complete vibrations in 1 minute. The periodic time of it equals, yes, we want periodic time. Periodic time, remember its relation. It's the periodic time equals the time in second divided, yes, the number of complete vibration. If we divide 60, make 60 divide 3000, it will give by calculator, yes, 0.02. That's right. Number 7. The wavelength of monochromatic light in Thomas Young double slit experiment is determined from the relation. Yes, let us remember the relation of Thomas Young experiment. It will show that delta y equals lambda r divide d, where delta y is the distance between the two fringes and lambda is the wavelength of monochromatic light. R is the distance between the second and the third screen. D, the distance between the double slit. Okay, if we apply this relation on this sentence, the answer will be, yes, you are right. The answer will be R equals delta y d divide lambda. Number 8. The ratio between the angle of incident of light ray passing through glass when Ng equals 1.5 to the angle of refraction through water where Nw equal 1.3 is, yes, by applying Snell's law, we can say that the ratio will be, yes, very good, less than 1. Another sentence. In hydraulic press, the ratio between the pressure on the large piston and the pressure on the small piston is, yes, that's right, equal to 1. Very good. A body is placed in the water. If the volume of the apparent part is 1/4 of its original volume, then the relative density of its material equals applying Archimedes rule, where FB equals FG on the case of floating, and then the relative density will be, yes, that's right, 3 divided 4. Number 11. A liquid flows regularly with a speed 4 meters per second in tube cross-sectional area 0.0002 meters squared. Then the rate of flowing equals, yes, the rate of flowing equals V times A, and then it will be, the answer will be, yes, 0.0008 meter cubic per second. That's right. Another sentence. The height of the liquid in the capillary tube depends on all the following except, yes, you must remember the factors affecting the height of the liquid in the capillary tube. Of course, it is affected by the radius of the tube and the density of the liquid. Then the only factor we don't want it is the length of the tube. That's right. Another sentence. The apparent weight of a body, what space by decreasing the upthrust force of liquid on the body. Here you must remember the relation between the apparent weight and the upthrust, and we have relation says that FB equals FG minus FG dash, and this means when the upthrust decreases, then the apparent weight increases. So the answer will be, yes, that's right, the answer will be increase. Apparent weight of a body increases by decreasing the upthrust force of liquid on the body. Okay, I want all of you, when you come to answer the question of a choose in the exam, you write the relation in your paper before answering it, and think carefully, then choose the right answer. Okay, another sentence. When a gas is compressed slowly at constant temperature such that its pressure is doubled and its volume becomes half its original one. The average velocity of its molecules will be here this sentence you see there is a condition that the temperature is constant and the pressure is doubled. So what will happen to the volume? Yes, it decreases. What will happen to the velocity? Yes, that's right, it doesn't change. Why? Because volume is inversely proportional to pressure at constant temperature. There is no change in velocity. Very good. Another sentence. The ratio between the root mean square velocity of hydrogen gas molecules at 200 degrees Celsius to the root mean square velocity of nitrogen molecules at the same temperature. Yes, we have here temperature is constant, then V1 divided V2 will equal square root of root 2 divided root 1, and since the density of nitrogen greater than density of hydrogen, yes, the answer will be greater than 1. That's right. Another sentence. If the gas pressure is doubled at constant temperature, its density, yes, the density inversely with the volume, so the density will increase. That's right. Another sentence. The root mean square velocity of a gas at 500 degree Kelvin is larger than or smaller than or equal to the root mean square velocity of the same gas at 600 degree Kelvin. We know that there is a direct relation between the root mean square velocity and the temperature on Kelvin scale. So the answer will be yes, very good, smaller than. Another sentence. The ratio between the number of coils to the number of segments of the commutator cylinder in the DC generator equals, yes, number of segments must less than number of commutator. By what? Yes, by half. Number 19. If the radius of certain conductor decreases to half its value, so its resistance, we must remember the relation between the resistance and the area, and it is inversely proportional. So the answer will be yes, increases to double its value. Another sentence. The continuation of motion of the motor coil is due to, yes, very good, is due to the inertia. Very good. Sentence number 21. Two resistors are connected in parallel. One of them equals 1 ohm. The equivalent resistance is, you must remember that the equivalent resistance of group of resistance connected in parallel must less than, yes, the smallest one. So the answer will be smaller than 1 ohm. Very good. Another sentence. The average value of the current intensity of the AC current equals, yes, equals 0. Why? Because we know that alternating current is the current that changes its intensity and the direction each half cycle. So the intensity in the first half cycle will cancel the intensity in the second half cycle. So the average value of this current will be 0. That's right. Another sentence. The last sentence here is Henry is the inductance unit and equivalent to, yes, that's right. You remember the relation, and from the relation we'll find that Henry equivalent to volt times second square per coulomb. Here we reach the final in our revision. We'll continue this revision in another time. Thank you and goodbye.
ازاي تنجح وتجيب مجموع وانت قاعد على الانترنت؟ اليوم السابع بيقدم اقوى مراجعات نهائية للثانوية العامة لنخبة من أفضل المدرسين. اتفرج وذاكر وانجح وجيب مجموع بالفيديو على اليوم السابع.